Oh, welcome to Sonia podcast. Do y'all know why you get butterflies in your stomach when falling in love? So, according to some psychologists, when you first catch feelings for someone special, there's a good chance you also catch some butterflies. Not the real butterflies, of course, but the fluttery sensation that crops up in your tummy when you make eye contact with your crush from across the room. And you're not just imagining it. There are a few psychological reasons why you experience fluttering in your stomach when you're around a prospective or brand new love interest or even a long-term partner. So here's what Alexander H. Solomon, PhD, she's a licensed clinical psychologist. She said, and she's an expert on love and relationships, thinking about a crush and wondering what your first date will lead to, getting on out of the blue, compliment from a new partner, and brushing hands can all bring about the tingling sensation in your gut. It kind of creates that rush of anticipation and anxiety. Butterflies can take flight in your stomach both when you're nervous about what to come and when you're sexually aroused. What more, a moment that once gave you butterflies can have the same effect years down the road. For example, Solomon says she still feels butterflies when she thinks about a rom-com-like moment that took place with her husband nearly 30 years ago. And reminiscing on these types of swoon-worthy scenarios can prove beneficial. Those early shiny moments become the foundation for a long-term relationship. They become the positive memories that help you when you're having a difficult or frustrating moment or things are far more ordinary than perhaps they are in the beginning. Now, the science behind the butterflies in your stomach. So what's actually causing that fluttering in your stomach? The sensation may be due to increased levels of the substance throughout your body's central nervous system. So Helen, she's a biological anthropologist. She's senior research fellow at the Kinsey Institute and expert on the science of romantic love. She says, molecules that send messages between nerve systems, and it releases in response to stress and potentially attract, according to research. Remember, your brain struggles to determine the difference between fear and arousal. And research showed which is primarily linked to danger and fear may also be associated with romantic attraction. Whether it activate when you're anxiously waiting for your date to arrive or when your significant other strokes your arm, this surge and kickstart your body fight or flight response. In turn, your heart rate increases, you feel more alert and energetic, and you may even lose your appetite. Characteristics that are all calmly associated with romantic love. You may feel those butterflies in your stomach, said Fisher. These psychological changes are supposed to help you survive stressful and life-threatening situations. But when it comes to love, this sudden focus and alertness is believed to help you impress the potential mate you're swooning over. Pleasurable activities such as sex or spending time with a potential partner, according to the Cleveland Clinic. And both of these chemicals can be linked with feelings of romantic love, which in general produce a lot of physical reactions, among them the butterflies, a dry mouth, weak knees, and other responses. These chemicals may also originate in the gut itself, which could create those butterfly feelings, says Solomon. So there's a profound connection between our brains and our guts. She said, ICYDK, the digestive system, has its own nervous system called the enteric nervous system, and it's been nicknamed the body's second brain. The E and S is connected to your actual brain, V nerve pathway, and share the same neurotransmitters to communicate and in turn control digestics. Thanks to the direct line of communication, stress and other emotions can impact the gut. That's why sometimes if you feel nervous, you have a GI distress or have that gut feeling. For some reason, feeling aroused, excited, or anxious about spending time with your potential or new partner could create swollen-like sensations in your stomach. Are butterflies in the stomach a good sign? To some folks, a lack of butterflies could be seen as a red flag that their potential partner isn't a good match on that the spark has left a marriage. Others believe experiencing the fluttering feeling is a warning sign, though it shouldn't be perceived this way. There's a train of thought from dating coaches who will say that butterflies in your tummy is actually a red flag, meaning that this is somebody who's activating your old traumas, and the butterflies in your tummy are actually your woundness, recognizing their woundness. On the flip side, not experiencing butterflies shouldn't be perceived as a red flag. Either if you're not noticing any butterflies, you might simply be a person who simply not falls in love. Perhaps it's just that you are more descending and a little more restrained, and you can't do a lot of high highs and lows. I think there are individual differences in how we enter intimate relationships that have more to say about who we are as people and less to say about who other person is in the relationship. In the end, a feeling of butterflies in your stomach or lack thereof shouldn't determine the fate of your relationship. I want people to think the absence of butterflies is a poor indicator, nor do I want people to think that the presence of butterflies is a poor indicator. I think it's one piece of a much larger, more complicated puzzle. FTR is totally normal for those butterflies you experience when you first start dating to fade as time goes on. Early in a relationship, couples often have a lot of spontaneous sexual desires. That's feeling of, I want to just jump your bones. We all know once the relationship progresses, the sexual desire generally shifts to become more responses. To where you're really not in the mood, or you may be in the mood sometimes, but then again, you may not feel the mood no more. That's a shift. So expect that. But it will be occupied by a decrease of disappearance of the butterflies in the tummy. It doesn't mean you're broken, your partner broken, and your relationship is doomed. It just means that you're ushering in a phase where you have to and you get to actively work together to cultivate a happy, healthy, erotic environment. Encourage you to instead focus on what you're gaining in the relationship, such as comfort, safety, or having your person in your corner. You may be losing your butterflies. What you're gaining is a person who is in the front row of your life, a supporter, a cheerleader, a companion, and a love. And I'd like to thank you for listening to my podcast. Please give it a 5-star review on Speaker, Spotify, iHeartRadio, wherever you listen to podcasts. Please share. You can call me here at sv766752@gmail.com. Please follow me at son.ia9795, Instagram, Sonia Santiago, Twitter, Sonia Santiago, Facebook, Sonia Santiago, Pinterest. You can also go to my website, http://podcasters.com/wordpress.com. You can listen to my Son's Sounds album on Apples and Spotify. Thank you and have a blessed night.